I remember when I was a kid, I read a line in my moral science book that your hard times of life may teach you what your books can never. For my Hindi speaking audience, I would like to say the same line in Hindi that आपकी ज़िंदगी की कठिन परिस्थिति आपको वह सिखा सकती है जो किताबें कभी नहीं. And it is not just a line which I have read and listened, but it is the line which I have experienced and lived in each and every moment of my life since my birth. Talking about my story, 20 years back when I was born, my parents were very happy because I was their first child. For some months everything went very fine, but after some months of my birth, they found something abnormal in my body. They could not understand what was actually happening with me. So on the suggestions of some family members and relatives, they took me to a doctor, and the doctor told them that I have born with a disease called scoliosis, which basically means that I had a bend in my spinal cord in my backbone. It was a big shock for them. Their happiness turned into sadness, their good times turned into hard times. They were not getting what should they do. But despite being from a rural and financially weak background, they tried their best to provide me good medical treatment. But nothing helped me in improving. So at last, at the age of 7, I had to go through a 6 hours long surgery of my spinal cord. That changed my body structure completely, because some instruments were fit in my body to support my spinal cord in growing, but they changed the way I would look like. I was on complete bed rest for some months. I had to do everything on bed only. I was not even allowed to sit. Those some months were very hard for me. But the real challenge started when I went back into the real world. Till now, I was just fighting with my physical disability. But now I also had to fight with the mental challenges which got created because of that. The surgery completely changed the way I would live my life, the way I would think about myself, the way I would behave to people and people would behave to me. And I was just a 7-year-old child who was not enough mature to understand and accept what was happening with him. At such time, the biggest thing which bothers the person is not his or her disability, but it is the people's behavior, which leaves no stone unturned to make the person realize that he is good for nothing and he has to be dependent on others. I still remember the days when I was put aside in my class. I would not be allowed to participate in any competition or function. No one would be ready to play with me. I still remember the days when the whole class used to be punished for doing something mischievous, but I was the only one who would sit on chair and see other students getting punished. No one likes to be punished, but I would pine to be punished, because all these things would make me realize that I am different and I cannot do the things what normal people can do. Many such incidents were there which deepened this thought in my mind. I still remember the day of annual sports day in my school. I was also one of the participants in a game. I was too much excited and happy because it was the first time when I was participating in a game. But my name was removed from the list of players just before some minutes because they thought that I am not capable of playing the game. I was too much sad and angry. And many incidents were there which were enough to make me quit and sit aside. But it is rightly said, where there is will, there is way. I had only two options, either to quit or to prove myself. But the mind and the will of that 8 or 9-year-old child was not ready to quit. So I decided and determined to change my life. I no longer wanted to live a life of a person who is not only physically but also mentally handicapped. But the way was not easy for me. I had to prove myself at each and every moment of my life. But I took the responsibility of my life and started converting my disability into my strength. On the way doing that, the first thing which I did was to accept myself, to accept my reality. And the moment I accepted it, everything got changed in my life. Now I stopped feeling bad about it. Now I stopped hiding it. Now I stopped minding on the things people would say and talk about me. And that helped me a lot in fighting the way I had. I would also like to suggest to people watching to me that whatever problems you are in, whatever loopholes you have, firstly accept them. Because until or unless you accept your problems, you cannot solve them. But the moment you accept your problems, it becomes very easy for you to solve them. Because now you focus on solutions, not problems. I did this in my life and got miraculous results. The next thing which I did was to prove myself. Because the biggest problem people like me face is that they have to prove themselves at each and every moment of their life. Because if I go to someone and ask for letting me do something, then most of them would say that no, you can't do this. Because they think that I am not capable of doing the things what they can do. And same happened with me. So now I will not go to people and beg for letting me do the things. I started initiating the works by myself. I would start works, complete them and show to all. And gradually people started changing their opinion about me. Now they started including me in the works they would do. Now I started playing with them. And many times even it happened that I was leading the group of the people who would once think that I am not capable of doing the works what they can do. It would never happen if I would agree on people's opinion that I cannot do the things what they can do. Everyone, my family, my teachers, my friends were against me, but the only person who believed in me was me. I believed and I knew that I can do everything, and I proved it, and gradually things changed. One more thing which I did was to focus on the things where I was good at. As it is rightly said, when God closes one door for you, He also opens thousands of new doors for you. And same happened with me. I knew that I am a physically challenged person, but there were many things where I was better than others. I started discovering them one by one. When I observed myself, I found that I am very good at learning new things. I can learn things faster and better than others. I started working on that. I started putting more efforts in my studies and in the things where I could use my creativity. With this ability and never give up attitude, I succeeded in becoming one of the toppers in my state board exams. I have also been recipient of Inspire Award by Government of India and Achievers Award by Dainik Bhaskar. I have also been one-time national and world record holder, and many achievements are there. But the biggest achievement I got in my life, that I could convert my physical disability into my biggest strength and live the life I am living today. At last, I would like to conclude my talk with a suggestion to all of you that don't let your problems and disabilities become your weakness. If you let your problems dominate your life and make you weak, then you won't be able to do anything in life. But if you believe that you can change your life, and if you believe that you deserve a better life, then no one can stop you. You will be unstoppable. Thank you so much.